Welcome to 2x English. Today we will discuss about the story of Riders to the Sea by John Synge in brief. The story only and nothing else. And before going to this story, I just want to tell you that there are a number of characters in this one act play, though the development of their characters is minimal and almost negligible or next to zero, next to nil. Still, the characters we learn most about Moria. She is the worst sufferer due to the infliction caused by the sea. She is a bereaved mother who lost six sons and her husband and her husband's father. At the very beginning of the story, we learn about two girls, Nora and Kathleen. They are Moria's daughters. Then we know about Bertley. He is the last surviving son of Moria, and Michael, who died just before the death of Bertley. And we know about the young priest, though his roles are mainly off screen. He is not directly seen playing any role. So this was the major roles that play in this Riders to the Sea. So let's have look at the setting of the play. Arran Island. It's an island. It's an island to the west of Ireland, and at the very beginning of the story, we can see a cottage very close to the sea, and a word, an information I have to give you, that is that Synge went to the island, that is, I mean, Arran Island, on the advice of W.B. Yeats, another great literary figure. So now I think we should start about the story. The short story, not short story, short play, is about the calamities inflicted by the sea on a family of fishermen. The infliction or the suffering caused to the fisherman's family on an island to the west of Ireland. The scene is laid in the kitchen of a small cottage. So, first scene, kitchen of a small cottage. The fishing net kept there indicates that these people earn their living by catching fish. So, what we learned? We learned that they were fishermen and they earned their livelihood fishing in the sea or catching fish from the sea. The spinning wheel kept there indicates that these people spin their own yarn and weave their own clothes. Also, we can see some whiteboards standing against the wall. Since there are no trees on the island, these boards have been obtained from the mainland. The purpose is to make a coffin, and these whiteboards indicate that someone has recently died there, and a coffin is to be made for his burial. So In course of the setting, we learned that mm, these people were fishermen. They earned their livelihood by catching fish from the sea. And at the very beginning of the story, we can see some white boats, and these white boats are kept there perhaps in order to make a coffin, and this indicates that someone in their family might have died. And we already knew that the cottage was very close to the sea. Yes, sorry, when the curtain rises, we see Kathleen. Who was Kathleen? Nora's daughter. A girl of about 20. She is 20 years old, kneading flour. She completes her work and puts the dough in the oven by fire. She then starts spinning yarn with the spinning wheel. Now we know about her younger sister. Her name is Nora. Kathleen's younger sister's name was Nora. She appears at the door. She has a small bundle of clothes with her, and these clothes she is hiding under her shawl. She was hiding them. Why? She asked her sister, I mean, Nora asked Kathleen where their mother is. Then Kathleen replies that their mother is lying in the other room, and perhaps she was sleeping, and she will sleep if she can sleep at all, as she was extremely grief stricken. Then Nora comes to the kitchen and tells Kathleen that the bundle had been given to her by the young priest. The bundle contains a shirt and a plain stocking which had been removed from the body of a man who was drowned and whose body was Worcestershire in Donegal. He was given a decent burial by the people there. So now the two girls, one of them Kathleen and another one is Nora. Nora has come to their cottage. She had with her a small bundle, and the bundle contains some wearings that may belong to their brother Michael, whose body was found on the shore. Now the sisters are scared to open the bundle of clothes because they do not want their mother Moria to know all this. Michael has been missing for a week, and the family had already lost 5 men to the sea. And in order to conceal the affair, the two girls decide and they did decided and they did hide the bundle in the tarp loft of the cottage. Next scene, Moria is prepared for the funeral of Michael with white boards for his coffin ready at the cottage. The white boards we have seen are already been used to make the coffin. She enters the kitchen. She is a woman. She is a woman who is seen lamenting all the time and worrying that her sons will never come back from the sea. She always fears that her sons will never come back from the sea. Moria, Nora, and Kathleen discuss the lust son Bertley. The trio were discussing about the last son of the family, that is Bertley, who is also planning to go to the sea to sell the family horses so that they could get some money. Nora and Kathleen convinced that Bertley should go to the fair at Galway to sell the animals, while Moria is still hoping that the priest will not allow him to go in such dangerous tides. During that time, tides was going, and their mother never wanted Bertley to go in such a situation, and she hoped that if Bertley tries to go there, the young priest or the priest must not allow him to go in such a dangerous situation. Bertley enters the cottage at that very time. At that very moment, Bertley enters the cottage and she was looking for new piece of rope. Moria tries to stop him, but he says he wants to make a halter for the horses. Clearly, Bertley plans to go to the sea, and she will not perhaps hear anything from anyone. Moria again tries to deceive him by showing him the white boards for Michael. Paying no heed, Bertley changes his clothes, asks his sisters to take care of the sheep, and leaves without receiving any blessings from his mother. It is a tradition in Ireland that the son receives the blessings of his mother before going anywhere. But Moria breaks this fashion. This fashion or custom was broken by at this very moment. Next scene begins with Bertley, who lives with a red mare and a grey pony tied behind. Kathleen then notices that he has not taken any food and tells Moria to walk down to the well to give Bertley his food and the blessings. Moria leaves using a stick that Michael brought, lamenting over how in her family the the old ones, never leave anything behind for their heirs, despite that being the general custom. There were no heirs in their family. Once Moria is gone, The girls retrieve what? The bundle of clothes from the lot where they hid the bundle to conceal the whole incident from their mother. To check it if they're Michael's, they had not yet checked if the clothes belonged to their brother Michael. So on the time being, so for the time being, when their mother was not there, it was a golden opportunity for them to examine the clothes. Nora realizes that the stockings are truly Michael's because she recognizes her own stitching. Nora stitched the stockings, so instantly she noticed that it was Michael's. They count the number of stitches and arrive at the conclusion that Michael was dead and buried. So it was clear that Michael died. The sisters hide the clothes again because they think that Moria will be returning in a good mood since she got the chance to bless Bertley. The custom, the long going custom of giving blessing at that moment when someone from their family goes out was broken. But her mother went afterwards to give her son blessings. So the daughters were thinking that when their mother will return, she must be happy. But when Moria comes back, she looked more distressed than ever. She tells her daughters that she saw Michael on the grey pony. She could not bless Bertley due to the shock. He was so shocked that she could not bless Bertley. To calm her down, Nora and Kathleen show Moria the cloths and tell her that Michael has had a clean burial. Moria's laments are interrupted when islanders bring the body of Bertley into the cottage. Bertley, the last son of Nora's family, or Nora's last surviving son, she was brought by the villagers or the islanders into the cottage and tell the women that the grey pony knocked Bertley. The grey pony knocked Bertley into the sea, where he drowned. Moria, now shock stricken, flabbergasted, she gets on her knees near Bertley's body and sprinkles holy water on him. She finally resigns herself to her fate as she claims that she will finally sleep at night because she has no one any longer for whom she will have to worry about. All the men of our family have died to the sea. There was no male members left in her family. So there is no tension, there is no worry on the part of her, on the part of their family, that someone after sometimes may loss to the sea. All the men of a family have died to the sea. The whiteboards that were supposed to be used for Michael's coffin will now be used to bury Bertley. As Michael's body was already buried by the villagers or the islanders, now the coffin, which was made from the whiteboards, will be used to bury Bertley's body. Moria prays that the souls of her husband's father, and 4 sons may rest in peace. And the curtains are drawn. So, this was the story in brief. A very disappointing ending. The story of a bereft mother, Moria, who lost all her near and dear ones, and of course, the near and dear male family members, her sons, all of her sons, her husband's father. So, undoubtedly, it was a very, very grip striking story, a sad story of a bereft mother. So, I think today's presentation will give you a brief insight into the text, and if you like it, don't forget to give a thumb. And if you're new to my channel and if you are watching for the first time, don't forget to subscribe it. And if you have any question, or if you require any session regarding any topic, you don't forget please don't forget to comment on the description, comment on the box. So today I'll not tell you more about. So thank you for watching this video.